Yeah, we'll talk about that. Don't worry. Yes. Yeah. Do this and go test, 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 test.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of Phatts TV, sanctioned by PA Phatts and the non-genetically proven Sun. Any and all words have been authorized during the show. There is nothing off limits. Nobody is restricted from watching and participating in the show. It is a free-for-all. Commencing at the siren, any and all discussions will be legal for an extended period of time. Sports, politics, and any and all controversial topics will be talked about. You have been warned. May God be with us all.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Phatts TV on this Tuesday night, March the 21st, 2023. It's the most wonderful day of the year for Phatts TV. Why? Because our opening is very fitting for today. Joining me, as always, in the upper left-hand portion of the screen, deep in the heart of Center County, Pennsylvania, the one, the only non-genetically proven Sun. How's it going?
You've made it an hour. I'm impressed.
It is Purge Day, ladies and gentlemen. Purge Day occurs, we made it an hour because we're in the East Coast of the United States, from March the 21st at 7 p.m. till March the 22nd at 7 a.m. for 12 hours. All crime is legal. Legal. So,
Asterisk.
how are you? What are you going to be purging tonight?
Maybe I'll go like shoplift a candy bar.
Shoplift a candy bar. I, after the show, am definitely going to purge.
Nope, I know what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
I'm a jaywalk.
Oh, you stole my line, you asshole. I was going to get in my car, my Fatsmobile number 2, which I let the license run out. It's not inspected. I was going to drive downtown, do some California rolls through some stop signs, park in the middle of the intersection, and I'm just going to jaywalk all over the place. That's how I'm going to purge tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
You gonna run a red light?
I'm a rebel. I am a rebel.
You're gonna go up the down escalator.
I am going to go up the down escalator without a doubt. Yes. Yes. Now, I mean, when might not do a little something else a little later on in the night? One never knows. If someone thinks they want to take me out live on the air tonight, if you know where I live, by all means, come barging in. I got a weapon right to my left. I'm going to defend you at furniture polish.
Little lemon pledge.
No pledge. No pledge. So, how are you going to be celebrating Purge Night tonight? Are you going to be purging? And if so, what are you going to be doing? All crime is legal, including murder, tonight from 7 p.m. till 7 a.m. Yeah.
Which rules of the purge are we following? You can't kill or touch anybody class 10 or above, or like an election year when everybody can be killed.
Personally, I think you should only be able to kill level 10 and above.
Ranking officials.
I mean, we're just stating a fact here. You should only be able to kill level 10.
So,
yeah.
all crimes legal, including murder, no exceptions.
Yep. Yep. What do they say right before? Blessed be our new founding fathers and America, a nation reborn. May God be with you all. What? and then all hell is breaking loose. So I lost 10 pounds since our last show. I got a haircut. I think they wanted to charge me triple because they cut off a lot of hair. There was that the floor where I get my haircut is white. It was not white. The whole floor was brown and gray, of course.
Ooh.
Brown and gray. Yes, brown and gray. So again, comment section is open. Let me know if you're going to be celebrating Purge tonight, and let me know how you will be purging. So until we have some talkers on our message board, it's going to be a sports show tonight. We are going to do a show, at least I will be doing a show. We'll see if the non-genetically proven son joined us when former President Trump officially gets arrested. I don't know if when they charge him or when he surrenders and be booked. I don't know yet which one of those days we're going to do the show. Word is he's going to be charged tomorrow, and then they have to make like some type of arrangements with the Secret Service because you just can't like perp walk the former president of the United States. That's like not how it works. I don't think the Secret Service is going to allow you to perp walk former president. It just doesn't work that way, ladies and gentlemen.
That's
They're not
true.
going to allow him to be handcuffed either. Like let's think about this for a second. So, yeah. You'll hear my very strong opinions on what's going on when that happens. So, stay tuned to the Phatts TV Facebook page for when we will do a show about that. So, before we get to basketball, because we do want to talk about how shitty our brackets are.
No, no, no. Hey, hey.
Hey, there's an
I'm
echo.
not last in my work pool.
Okay, then. Well, because there's a 6-year-old and a dead person behind you.
No.
Oh, okay. Okay.
They're ahead of me.
Oh, the dead person's ahead of you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So, for those of you who are regular viewers of the show, you'll hear that I sometimes talk about what we call team fats. So, I'm PA Fats. We started Fats TV, and we also have what's called Team Fats. Of course, it's all about me, Team Fat. Everything's Fats. All about me. All about if I'm president, it would be President Fats. For sure. For sure. For sure. The hookers call me Big Papa Fats. They sing songs about fats. The Fats Man can. But anyway, so I want to give a shout out. The Pennsylvania State Bowling Tournament for high school bowling was this past weekend up in Erie, and several Team Fats members did really good. In fact, a bunch of the girls did very well. Rayana Gonzalez was the champion. Emma Fetterman was in second. I believe the top 5 had 4 Team Fats. Let me see who else was in there. Da 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 da. Should have had this already, but I didn't. Mia Ahmet finished 5th, and the person who finished 4th was Mary Beth Baker. So we had 4 out of the top 5. On the boys' side, Aiden Davis won the championship. So Team Fats had 2 champions on the singles side. On the team side, on the girls, the Shikellamy girls won, and Emma Fetterman and Ariana Woolcock are on Team Fats. They're part of Shikellamy. And on the boys' side is Manheim Township that won, and they actually have a mixed team. And somebody I've known since she's like been 4 or 5 years old. I used to call her the little diva. She's not a little diva anymore. She is a sophomore in high school. Bethany Jakewith is on that team. She is Team Fats as well. So Team Fats did really, really good this weekend at the Pennsylvania State High School Bowling Championship. So congratulations. Congratulations. In your high school days, you made it to that tournament 3 times as well in singles, 3 out of your 4 years.
Woo!
Woo! You finished third your junior year. Should have probably won it your senior year.
Woo!
Just you hit one bad pair of lanes. That cost you. Shot 139 if I remember correctly. One game. You
Oh,
struck
that was
out.
the pair where you couldn't play down and in anymore.
Yeah, you struck out for 139 in the 10th.
Good. After
Yeah.
going 250, 250 to start.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Yes. So, um, the PBA had another major this past weekend. It was the Tournament of Champions.
Tournament of Champions.
Back in my day, it was called the Firestone Tournament of Champions. It's not anymore
Because it was sponsored by
because it was
Firestone.
sponsored by Firestone. That's very
That
good.
it was the Barbasol for a little while.
It was
Now
shaving
I have
cream.
no idea who sponsors
Yep.
it.
Yep. Well, it's owned by Bolero, so they may not even need sponsors anymore. You know. So
True.
they tried something new. They had a 17-person stepladder.
Before you go, what? 4 shows. 4 shows.
What?
That would be one incredibly long TV show.
Yeah,
Those pair of lanes would be dirt by the time the title match started.
They would be.
Imagine 17 games under that heat. Under
17
basically 120-degree lights.
plus all
on
the
that
practice, plus all the practice that they would get
Yeah.
in between. Yeah, there
That's
would have
probably
been.
about how hot the set gets, about 100 to 110 degrees.
Yeah, they would have been, lofting 5 lanes down. So anyway,
Maybe.
what did you think of the 17-person stepladder?
To be honest, I didn't really care for it. I mean, I feel like it added something different, but 17 felt excessive.
Mm-hmm.
They did 10 one time, and I was perfectly cool with 10.
Mm-hmm.
But 17 just felt like 24 made match play, and they bowled 24 games round robin match play for 17 to make the shows. It felt excessive.
Yes. So back in my day, it was always every show, it was the top 5 made. Like they didn't do a show at 4, they didn't do a show at 6. When I was young, when it was on ABC every Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock, it was the top 5 made the stepladder. No ifs, no ands, no buts. So knowing me is to know that I am somebody who does not like change. I don't like change very much. So I'm certainly not a fan of the 17-person stepladder. The only reason why I liked the fact that it was more than 5 is because it kept Sean Troop off the show.
Kyle Troop.
Sean Troop off the show.
Who's Sean Troop?
I actually know a Sean Troop, and that's why I got the name confused. Yes, Kyle Troop was left off the show. He would have been the 5 seed, and he wound up losing the last match the night before to the actually guy who ended up winning the title, Mr. Jason Belmonte, and we'll talk about Mr. Belmonte in a little bit. Jason qualified 6, so he had to beat the 7 seed, the 5 seed, the 4 seed, the 3 seed, the 2 seed, and the 1 seed. So he won 6 matches.
Impressive.
So that's very, very impressive to do. So yes, Lord knows I'm not a Kyle Troop fan. I thought for sure he was going to beat Belmonte when he needed to double in the 10th to beat him. Because Belmonte left a 7-pin. On
A blower 7-pin.
on,
Probably the better of the 2 shots.
yes, and that was actually his second blower 7-pin on that lane, that match. So Troop got up and he threw, if you want to call it Jersey, call it Jersey. If you want to call it Brooklyn, call it Brooklyn. His first shot in the 10th. It was a god-awful shot. It was left off of his hand, and it was so bad that it crossed over to the other side and struck. And when he did that, I thought for sure he was going to win the match because he was going to flush the next one. Thankfully, his next shot pushed 4 or 5 inches past where I think he wanted it to break, and it came in just slightly behind the head pin, and he wrapped a solid 10. So for those of you that may not bowl, or even if you do bowl, typically when you leave a solid 10 pin, what I mean by the solid 10 pin is the 6 pin flies around the 10 pin. It doesn't lay in the gutter. It usually means that your ball, you need to have a specific angle to come into the pocket, the 1-3 pocket, if you're a right-hander. His ball came in at a steeper angle, a little bit too far back. So a little bit too much onto the 3 pin and not enough onto the head pin. And what that does is it drives the 3 pin straight back a little bit more than it should by about 2 or 3 degrees. It hits the 6, and then the 6 is now pushing forward a little bit, and it wraps itself around the 10 instead of taking out the 10. So he came in just 3/4 of an inch behind the head pin.
And we weren't watching it together, but we both had the same reaction.
Yes.
I said, good for you. You didn't deserve to win.
I said it too, but I had an expletive or two in there.
I shouted it.
Oh, so did I. I may have said something like "you fucking asshole" or something like that.
Even though he's actually genuinely a nice person.
He is. He is a nice person. It's just I don't like
I don't
his.
want to watch a bowl.
I don't like his dick. You know, he gets
So
out the pick and
the pick. So did you like Guppy Troop back in the day?
I did. Actually, I did.
And they have very similar personas, just back then it's more muted because that's just how life was.
I don't like the afro.
Oh, why? Because Guppy was like bald?
When I was a kid, typically a black woman would wear an afro. You didn't see afros on white people. Let's just say it that way. Now, if Kyle Troop was a black person, I wouldn't give a fuck.
You didn't grow up in the right era for a white person to have an afro.
I did not. I definitely did
You're
not.
about 10 years too late to that one, Buster.
Let me see if I can find a picture quick. Like when I think of people with afros, this is who I think of.
I'm about to laugh.
Let's see here. Let me get a good picture of. So let's see here. Now I gotta, drag the thing over. All right, it's not going to be a very big picture, but
What is that?
this is Shirley Wilson from the sitcom What's Happening. It was a 70s sitcom. It was a very funny sitcom.
Wait, so you left out a part when you thought afro. You forgot overweight.
Well, it is what it is. So, like, that's what I think of. Now, occasionally on the show, she wore a pick in her hair, too.
So you don't like when he throws the messenger, gets the pick out? Yeah.
I do not. I'm sorry, I just don't. I just don't. No.
Well, he only wears the afro for shows, by the way.
Really?
If
Is
you
that
see him
true?
in qualifying, he just wears it. It's just like slicked down. He only does the afro for TV shows.
Huh. I never knew that. I'm gonna have to, if they would ever come to bowl a tournament in Pennsylvania, maybe I would actually go watch it.
Or yeah, New Jersey.
But they never seem to come bowl a tournament in Pennsylvania. So
Nope, too expensive.
yes. Probably.
They don't even bowl in the Northeast, yet alone Pennsylvania.
So Jason Belmonte won. This was his 15th major.
15th, and second place is 10. From tied between Earl Anthony and Pete Weber, but a little old school boys.
Yeah, we don't like Pete Weber either.
Well, he's 60 something.
We liked Earl Anthony. At least I liked Earl Anthony.
He died before I even knew anything about bowling.
Yes. He was the quintessential. Let's just say your junior year of high school. Okay, we're gonna go back in the time machine to when you were a junior in high school at the county team championship, when you needed a strike to win counties for your team, and you thought you didn't strike and you wound up striking. You yelled a word.
Oh, loudly.
And you got called into the athletic director's office the next day. And what did he say bowling was?
A gentleman's sport.
Bowling is a gentleman's sport. So if you look up bowling as a gentleman's sport in the dictionary, you would see a picture of Earl Anthony.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, if you look up the antithesis of bowling is a gentleman's sport in the dictionary, you will see a picture of Pete Weber. Who do you think you are? I am. Yeah, you're a fucking ass. Right.
Pins.
So I don't like Pete Weber because he stole all of his moves from wrestling.
The crotch chop.
The crotch chop.
This.
That's Rob Van Dam, dude. That's not PDW. That's Rob Van Dam. RVD.
He did the fist.
Yeah. It's like, dude, you fucking,
crotch chop.
druggy, alcoholic. Come up with your own fucking moves and your own fucking sayings. Don't steal it from wrestling.
I forgot about the. Yeah, who crotch chops bowling pins and wears sunglasses on TV?
Who do you think you are? I am. God, was I rooting against him in that tournament because I wanted Fagan to win that match.
You wanted Fagan to win.
Hell yeah, I wanted Fagan to win. I liked Mike Fagan.
In fact, I wish was the second seed in that tournament.
I wish Fagan was still bowling. What the hell happened to Fagan?
He's smart. He stopped bowling. I think he started a family. I think that's why. He
was like the first person that I knew that had that Sarge Easter grip or whatever it's called.
He was like the only one who had it.
Yeah, got a lot of lift in a bowling ball with that. I know most of you watching the show have no clue what we're talking about right now.
Don't worry about it.
the thumb hole, the finger holes, which are usually right next to each other, were like spaced apart a little bit. It was like one was
is conventional to the second knuckle, the other is just to the first knuckle.
Yes, it really lets you lift through a bowling ball. Let's put it that way. You can get, for those of you that have were like me with low tilt. Again, for those of you that don't know anything about bowling, you're not gonna know what I'm talking about here. But a low tilt player, I could see where that would be super beneficial.
Yeah.
In fact, maybe if I ever come back to bowling, I might do that. I mean, I'll probably break my finger, but
you might.
It's not like I'm ever coming back to bowling anyway, so it really doesn't matter. But so, in your synopsis for the show tonight, you wrote something like, does this rank up there with one of the greatest records in sports? Like Night Train Lane. I don't know where the hell you got Night Train Lane from. You must have Googled that one. I mean, because Night Train Lane is from the 80s, so it's not like you saw Night Train Lane play.
No, I looked through records and I didn't want to go nuts like the Gretzky 3,000 points or whatever, stuff that's absurd. But this is 15 majors and he's only 39, mind you.
Yes,
he's not
is
retired. Yes. He is 39. He's still got probably a good 5 to 6 years in his prime left till he actually starts to fall off at all. he could get to 20. If he
He
gets to
could.
20, then I'm putting it with the Babe Ruth home run, the Gretzky points, the 7 no-hitter. It's just an unbreakable record. It's just not going to get broken. Bowling is too competitive nowadays where you can go into a tournament, the Tournament of Champions, there's 64 bowlers, and you can point at about 40, be like, they can win.
Well, yeah, especially when, next year all 64 are going to make the step ladder. You
But
know?
like, you could say, oh, Simonson can win, Tackett can win, just to name like a couple.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Truth can win.
oh God. So Tackett was in the finals. If he had beaten Belmonte, would that have been his third major this year or his second?
Second major, fourth title.
Fourth title. Okay.
He would have won 4 out of 5,
Yeah.
I believe.
So he's on a roll. So, I don't think it's impossible somebody could get to that mark somewhere down the road because it's not like EJ Tackett is in his 30s.
Yeah.
He's in his late 20s, and if you get on a roll, but no, I agree. It's going to be hard for somebody to beat that. But you know what? When Pete Sampras put up 16, 17, 18 majors in tennis, you thought that was unbreakable. And along came Federer and Nadal and Djokovic, and there we go.
Yeah, maybe one day it will be, but one day the Gretzky points is going to get broken. Maybe the hitting streak will get broken from DiMaggio.
Maybe
Like,
I will. Maybe I'm just going to have every record.
you're not going to break the record for most NCAA wrestling titles.
I still have 14 years of eligibility.
Says who?
I never played college athletics, so I still got eligibility left.
4 years.
I mean, so speaking of wrestling, while you guys were watching NCAA basketball this past weekend, I was watching NCAA wrestling.
I was watching both because imagine 2 monitors.
Whoa, progress.
So I would watch Fast Break, NCAA Fast Break. So basically, like your red zone shows you highlights of all the games or just what's going on in every game. And I was watching ESPN's coverage of wrestling. Which is coming to Philly in 2 years. I will see you in Philly in 2 years.
You got to join us. Because it's if you've never actually watched college wrestling, it's not like they pick you up, body slam you, jump on the top rope and give a flying elbow. I mean, let's face it, it's not like that.
I can go out to say, actually, to someone who doesn't know what's going on, it'd be boring.
See, I enjoy the strategy of it.
I
There's
love it, but
strategy
if
in it.
you don't understand the scoring, what's going on, it just kind of looks like a bunch of dudes just kind of laying on each other.
Dudes laying on each other. Okay then. Well, the more you get to heavyweight, yeah, because that's pretty much what they do because they can't move.
Yeah.
But so Penn State won its 10th team title in the last 12 years. So in my opinion, of all the coaching staff at Penn State, their wrestling coach is the best coach at Penn State.
And he makes about $300,000 a year.
Right. Yeah. Well, because wrestling's,
Yeah, wrestling's wrestling.
Right. Right.
But
he's the
will
greatest coach. Go ahead.
He will have a building, a statue, you would hope.
Yes.
I will hope one day they build a whole wrestling facility because he's not done. He's got 10 titles. You know what? I think 20 might be his goal. The record for a coach is 15. Iowa's coach has 15 in 25 years. He's third, I think, all time at 10. I think second is 11. I forget who. And he's already the best wrestler in college ever.
Yes. He was a great college. He went to Iowa State, I believe.
Yeah, 162-0.
Yes, and he had the chance. Like Iowa State had the chance to get him as a coach, but somehow it didn't happen. Like I saw an article, I didn't get a chance to read it, on how he never became their coach.
You think he would have?
You think? But I mean, the guy
You
just
think they regret
knows.
that now?
I mean, the guy just knows how to coach wrestling. So we're going to talk about how Penn State dominated. But before we do, we're going to talk about a player not from Iowa State, but from Iowa.
Ooh.
Interesting, who you would think he would have ended up going to Penn State, because I do believe he was from Pennsylvania.
He was from Pennsylvania, and he was, I don't know if he was committed to Penn State. He might have been verbally committed, and he didn't come here.
Mm-hmm.
Same with DeSanto.
Mm-hmm.
He was from Pennsylvania. He was from Berks County.
Berks County. So let's face it, like, Pennsylvania is actually a hotbed for wrestling. A lot of really good wrestlers come out of the state of Pennsylvania.
Oh, they're the best state by far for good
Yes.
wrestlers.
Yes. So there's something going on in Pennsylvania when it comes to wrestling. But be that as it may, so Spencer Lee at 125 pounds, which is the lowest weight class in college, he was trying to win his fourth NCAA tournament.
And would have been his 5th year. He
Right.
didn't wrestle
He
last year.
Right, because he had surgery on his knee. He's
because he won the year before on 2 torn ACLs.
On 2 torn ACL. Yeah, he became a champion on 2 torn ACLs. Like, so he was in the semis against a guy from it was a Big Ten school,
Purdue.
Purdue. Now, when they wrestled in the regular season, it was one of Spencer Lee's closer matches. Like, typically, Spencer Lee pinned you in the first period. The first period in wrestling is 3 minutes, and the second period and third period are just 2 minutes. Spencer Lee pretty much would pin you in the first period, sometimes in the first 30 seconds of the first period. It was amazing. So Spencer Lee had the lead in the match, and then all of a sudden the Purdue guy came out of nowhere, tied the match up, got a near fall of 4 points, but before they could score the 4 points, he wound up pinning Spencer Lee with less than a minute to go in the match. And
there was 1 second to go when he pinned him.
And it sent shockwaves through, like, the world of college wrestling. It's like, how in the world did Spencer Lee just lose?
Because, well, he's for those who don't know, he's not only considered the best 125 wrestler ever, he's arguably considered the best wrestler ever.
Yes.
Because he just pinned everybody. And what you were saying, when he faced the guy from Purdue earlier in the season, he was losing like 7-2.
Yes.
After one period, and he pinned him. And then he just turned around and pinned him. So he won. Yeah, this Purdue guy just, I don't know, just matched up well, had 2 outstandingly lucky matches. But going into it, you figured of all the weight classes you knew who was going to win, it was 125.
Yes. Yeah. So I want to show a video here. And me setting it up was the sound that you heard. So let me get it set up and mute what's going on here.
Love a new color. And
of course, it's not opening up in YouTube. So let me go to YouTube and get it queued up. So keep talking for a minute.
I don't know what else to talk about Spencer Lee. Because I have a feeling I know what video you're going to show.
Oh, you know it. You know exactly what video I'm going to show.
That'll lead into the. We just talked all good about him, and we're about to switch that up. We're about to switch it up drastically.
All right. So let's talk about parenting for a moment.
Parenting.
So I'm going to show a video of Spencer Lee's mother immediately following the match. So let me say goodbye to you, goodbye to me. Hello to going on here? And again, let's see here. Let's blow this up to make it look a little bigger. Okay. So that's the dude from Purdue. Right after he pinned Spencer Lee.
Spencer Lee's mom, Kathy, an alternate for the U.S. Olympic judo team, and her glasses did not survive that match.
Oh. And that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate to see.
Break the glasses.
This is what happens
Fuck
here,
those
Jim.
glasses.
There's so much at stake here.
The
memories are just as engaged.
Judo team.
Let's replay that.
Did not survive that match.
Oh. And that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate to see, but this is
all the glasses.
This is what happens here, Jim. Yeah, there's so much at stake here. The memories are just as engaged.
So that was the video of Spencer Lee's mom. I'm gonna fade to black here for a second. Gotta switch some screens. Put you back, put me back, and there we are. So that was, I really got to get a third monitor to do all this stuff.
So like we said earlier, how we were watching it together. We both had the same reaction on Kyle Troop. We both had the same reaction to this.
Yes.
We both said, "What a crappy parent."
Yes. So you're going to understand this a little more when you become a parent, if you ever become a parent and you have a child in athletics.
So before you go on, I'll give my opinion first.
Go for it.
I don't mind the crying.
No.
You know what? I completely would have expected that. It's the breaking of the glasses that I don't like. Like, you don't need to do that. You don't need to live by the success of your child. Yeah, I'm sure it upsets you. It's going to. It upsets him. It wouldn't surprise me if he went, punched the locker, and cried about it himself. I probably would have been in that same spot. Everybody would. Going for their fourth title and then getting shocked in the semis. But it's like, why break the glasses? What's the point? Like, why are you so arrogant?
So it's a momentary of anger sweeps over you. Because let's remember what was going through Spencer Lee 1 year ago before that match. Did he know, like, maybe he was never going to wrestle again? You know, maybe the doctor said, you got 2 ACL tears. You may never wrestle again.
True.
And he came back stronger, better, kicked ass the entire season.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then shockingly lost. So, yes, if you, at the beginning of the video, the first thing she does is she hugs one of the other mothers on the team as if she's crying. And then she's overcome with, I don't want to say anger is the right word. Anguish is a better word. I've seen parents do stuff like this. You have a parent who's done stuff like this. May I remind you, back in 2018, of a video that's sitting on Facebook right now that's about 13 minutes long, where I was angry and I let it rip. If you guys ever want to watch a really good video of how PA Phatts could get mad, go searching on my timeline back to 2018 in March, and you're going to find a video on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also remember a time when you were about 9 or 10 years old.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah. Sitting by myself, watching you. You let up on the soccer field. You let up a god-awful goal. It was horrible. It was god-awful.
It's probably one of the, if not the weakest goal I've ever given up.
It's the weakest gold you've ever given up. Without a doubt, it's the weakest gold you've ever given up. The ball hits your hands.
Right there, right in front of me. Like right there.
Yes. I have a picture of it.
Of the shot, yeah.
Of the shot. And somehow the ball hits your hands and goes like, I believe it was right up over your head.
It kind of went like to the right, but yeah.
And your father, God bless his soul, got up and threw his glasses on the ground.
No, not threw them, spiked them.
I didn't break them, though.
You didn't break them. It was grass. You're not that strong.
Well, but I could have crumpled them up like she did.
True. Yeah, and you let me have it.
Yeah. I'm sure
and
a
then
lot
you
of...
were told the next game you had to sit on the opposite side of the field. You are not allowed to sit near me anymore.
Yes.
Because basically, after the half, we ended up winning the game like 8-2. Like we killed them.
Yes,
But
but
after the half,
at the time, that gave them the lead.
and I get back at halftime, like my coach goes, just don't listen to them. Like, just don't listen to him. Like, since I was like 10, I don't think there was any like, he's an asshole or anything. Like, if you did that when I was like 15, yeah, somebody would have. If my high school coach would have said, just tell him to shut the hell up. Like, that's just how soccer was. Coaches, like, knew how to try to get you to not be angry.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like 10 and I was not happy.
No, and let's face facts. I was worried that this was the team you were on wasn't like you were playing recreational soccer where you had to be on a team.
Yeah.
This was a premier team that you had to try out for and make. Now,
Right.
I didn't know back then that basically, as long as you were on the team, it was next to impossible for you to not make it to stay on the team.
Yeah.
It was virtually impossible. So I didn't know that back then because it was your first year on the team. They already had one goalie who was pretty good. In fact, you guys became known as 1 and 1A, basically. But
pretty much.
not at that point you weren't 1 and 1A. He was 1 and you were 2 back then.
Oh, I was 3.
No, you were 2.
He was a lot better than me when we first started.
He was. Absolutely he was. But he was facing better competition when you joined that team.
Yeah.
But by the time high school came around, I didn't see him getting Berks County Goalie of the Year.
Yeah.
I saw you getting Berks County Goalie of the Year.
Might have had something to do with he only ever played halves in high school.
Maybe. So I understand the anger, the anguish that Spencer Lee's mom is feeling in that moment. Now, if it's 24 hours later and she's doing that, then it becomes a different story. But in that moment, I understand it. And I promise you, if you ever have a child that plays athletics, you will understand it too. When it kills you not to see them succeed, when they put in all the time and the effort that they put in. Now, if they're just somebody who, like, let's use bowling, goes the Saturday morning league and they need a strike to win and they don't strike, completely different story. But when the sport becomes your life and you devote thousands of hours to it,
yeah,
and you, quote unquote, for lack of a better word, fail. He failed. He didn't win. He failed. He didn't meet his goal. He failed. I understand the anguish that mom felt in that moment.
So when my child misses a 3-foot putt to lose the state championship, I'm gonna spike my hat.
Pretty much. Your child better not miss a 3-foot putt. If your child misses a 3-foot putt, I expect you, as the father, to have him out there for the next 12 hours making 3-foot putts.
You better damn well.
Let's go
You
back to
better
junior
damn well
goal.
know they're going to be shooting 3-foot putts.
Let's go back to junior goal when somebody couldn't make a 10-pin.
I would hope they would want to putt 3-foot putts
You
for
would
the
hope.
next 5 hours
You would hope.
till they don't miss them.
You would hope. Yep. But they might act like some kid did out at junior gold when they couldn't make a right side spare and somebody's father wanted them to go practice right after they were done and they practice. Yeah, well, you didn't have a choice.
I did have a choice.
And I don't think you missed another right side spare for the rest of the tournament.
I may have missed like one, but yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So, Penn State had 5 wrestlers in the finals, and surprisingly, they only won 2 matches. I mean, they were favored only to win 3. So they
Yeah.
weren't favored to win heavyweight. They weren't favored to win, was it
157.
157? I was going to say 161. Where the hell I was going to get 161 from?
Let's start with 157, since that was the first match.
Yes.
We had 10th year graduate student, true freshman, who I said in December was going to be in the national final.
You did.
And I got looks back then, like, like he's good, but he's not that good.
You got looks, huh?
I was just like, you're an idiot, kind of like. He's not that good. Like, he's a good wrestler.
Just, I'm curious as to who was giving you looks.
Other like photographers and people I worked with who talk about wrestling all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like, you're an idiot. Like, yeah, will he qualify for NCAA? Yeah. Will he get top? Will he be an All-American? Maybe. But he's not gonna make the final. Well, you damn well sure he made the final easily. He walked the Big Ten, beat undefeated guy from Nebraska. I can't think of his name.
Beat him in the semis again too, in nationals.
And then went to the semis and beat him even easier. Levi Haynes, minimum 2-time national champion by the time he's done wrestling.
Oh, more than that, probably. I mean, unless somebody better comes along.
I'm just assuming at least 2. You know, there's always that one person that could be better.
Sure.
Because then, like I'm gonna say, we're gonna go to 133.
No. Let's go in order. So the next match is somebody else who doesn't win, but is going to be a champion.
Well, next was 174, who did win.
Okay. Who was the first loss?
Levi.
Okay.
What weight are you trying to talk about here?
I'm thinking, never mind. Just keep going. What I don't know their weight classes, so keep going.
Oh, are we going to the finals?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, the next Penn State wrestler was at 174.
Okay.
2-time defending national champion.
Yes.
Carter Starachi.
Yes.
Who's only lost once or twice in his career. I think it's twice. Going against the same guy he beat in the Big Ten final.
Mm-hmm.
Big favorite, big heavy favorite. You have any words on this one?
For it.
Well, what you thought may have been a close match was not. It was actually quite anticlimactic. He pulled a Spencer Lee, he pinned him. In a minute and a half, to be Penn State's 7th 3-time champion. Believe it or not, Penn State's never had any 4-time champions. It's only happened 4 times. 4 times. But Starace is only a junior this year. And he has a COVID year. So he could, if he decided to come back for 2 years, could be the first ever 5-time national champion. But
who was the first guy we talked about?
Levi Haynes.
At 157.
157.
Okay. Lost in the finals.
Lost in the finals.
Okay.
But he's going to be a minimum 2-time champion.
Yes. Okay. So now we're at Starace at 174.
Yes. Who pinned the guy, I believe, in like a minute and a half.
Minute 59.
Minute 59.
Yes.
I thought it was a generous pin.
It was a quick pin.
Yeah, usually you get like a scramble, as they would call it, like where the guy's lifting his shoulders and he's trying to keep him down. Well, he got the pin call immediately.
Yes.
To be Penn State's, I believe, like I said, 7th or 8th. I think it was their 7th 3-time national champion at the time. And unbelievably, they've never had 4. Their closest was Bo Nickel, who in his freshman year lost to an 11 seed in the finals as the 1 seed. And then he won the next 3 after that.
Okay. So now we go on to 184.
184. Aaron Brooks got arguably shafted in the seeding. I get he only wrestled, I think, 14 matches. I think he was 13-1. So did he deserve the 1 seed? Probably not. He wasn't 2-time defending national champion, but there was a guy from, like Northern Colorado or something?
Northern Iowa.
Northern Iowa that was undefeated.
Yes.
Okay, whatever. So he was the 3 seed.
Yeah. You kind of felt that the semifinals was the real finals. To me.
Trying to remember who he wrestled in the semifinals.
Hold on. Hold please for the next available operator. He wrestled. Oh, that's a small looking bracket.
Was it the guy from NC State? Hillard or whatever?
Lord, why is that bracket so small? Yeah, I can't even come close to reading those names on there.
I got it. If I can find a completed bracket. Here we go. Nope, of course it's not a completed bracket.
Well, he wrestled the number 2 seed, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. I just want to know who it is. I believe it was the guy from Ohio State, but I could be wrong. There we go. Yeah, he wrestled Hilday from NC State, who should have been the final. Brooks Hilday was by far the 2 best wrestlers in the country, and Brooks beat him 6-3.
Yes.
I can't even find the title match score.
It was 7-2.
7-2.
Yeah, and it wasn't even that close, to be honest.
No, Brooks dominated him. Brooks is very much like Starace. Like, the odds of them losing were little to none.
Yes.
They're not as good as maybe a big of a favorite as Spencer Lee was, but those 2 were definitely like the odds-on betting favorites, and they were the supposed to wins.
Yes.
And they both did.
Yes. So then we move on to heavyweight.
Heavyweight. Daniel Greg Kirkwood.
Yes.
Facing his rival, Mason Paris. They faced each other 6 times before this. 3-3.
Paris had
This
won the
year,
last 2.
Paris has had Greg's number.
Yes.
Beat him in the dual meet convincingly. It was only like 3-1, but Greg did nothing. Beat him in Big Tens in double OT or regular OT? Regular OT. Again, Greg just looks tired. He just couldn't do anything. And I swear to you, Greg's got 30 pounds on Paris. He has to.
And it's 30 pounds of muscle.
Yeah.
Like if you look at the normal heavyweight wrestler, they're fat. He's not fat. He's muscle.
No. His legs are tree trunks.
Yes.
And Paris he almost looks like a 197 guy. Like he can't weigh much more than 220.
Yeah.
He just can't. And Greg's got to be 250. He's a big boy.
Yeah.
And just Paris has got the speed. He's got the power. He knows how to beat him. He got an early takedown, almost got back points.
Yeah.
And then Greg just can't get up. He has a really good way of keeping Greg down. He locks his foot in between his 2 thighs every time he tries to get up, trips him right back down, keeps hitting his wrist. He can't get up.
Yep.
And final score ended up being a pretty large score range.
It was 5-1.
5-1. But that doesn't say everything. It might as well have been a tech fall. Greg did nothing.
Yes. So then we move on to what people are saying was the biggest upset of the final. So Spencer Lee lost in the semifinals. He had the largest unbeaten streak. Once he lost, Bravo Young, Roman Bravo Young from Penn State, inherited the longest win streak in the country. And he was going up against a wrestler from Cornell who, like, the one thing everybody says about RBY, Roman Bravo Young, or RBY, is how fast he is.
Yeah. And no one ever thought somebody could be faster.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember watching this guy, his name is Vito Araujo.
Yeah.
Araujo. I remember watching his semifinal match thinking, he actually looks faster than RBY. And I was going to send you a message, and I didn't, that says he could beat RBY. Like you've never seen, this is only my second real year watching wrestling, so I've never seen RBY lose. I've never seen him be even pressured. Like even in close matches, he looks like he's totally in control of the match and can win at any moment.
RBY is known for his freshman year. He did a backflip to get out of a takedown.
Yes.
A guy had his leg and he did a backflip to get out of it. Pretty nuts. But yeah, like he was just always a step ahead of every single person he faced. He could be facing Dalton Fix, guy who Araujo beat in the semis, and the last 2 years Bravo Young beat in the finals. He was just always a step ahead of him. And Araujo, I've never seen Bravo Young get out wrestled. I didn't think it was possible. He got made look silly.
It looked like he was 2 steps behind the entire match.
Yeah.
It was amazing to watch. I mean, Araujo, when he would dive at the leg, he would always get it. It was
Yeah, and nobody could grab RBY's leg.
No.
It just didn't happen. Because RBY would jump over you and then turn you.
Yes.
Every time. It was kind of just a tip your hat moment. Like you can't even be frustrated with it because he beat him 7-1?
No, it was 10-4.
10-4.
Yeah.
And I think the 4 points, maybe one was a takedown or it was 4 escapes.
No, I think 2 were on a takedown.
Yeah, because I think he had back points, Araujo. I think he got 4 back points in that match. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, so they're losing players, but they certainly have, the cupboard's not going to be bare for sure.
The 2 they're losing guaranteed are RBY and Max D.
Yes.
Brooks has a year if he wants it. I think he comes back guaranteed. He wants his 4. And I don't think anybody can challenge him anyways. There's thoughts that one of the Ferraris could, but who knows? I don't know their weight classes by heart. Starachi has 2 more years, and it would just behoove me that he doesn't have aspirations to be the first 5-time champion. In his interview, he said he wants to chase his Olympic dream, which you can do in college. You could take a year off and go for the Olympics and then be welcomed back. There is some sort of rule in college wrestling that lets you do that. It wouldn't surprise me if he does something like that, goes for a year, comes back, and competes. Because even to be a 4-time champion, you would think he would want to be. Penn State's first-time 4-time champion, the 5th ever after this year, Yanni Diakomahalis is Cornell's 2nd ever 4-time champion. You would just think he has a chance to be 5-time. You would think he would want it.
You would think. So we'll see. We'll see.
But Penn State is fine.
Oh,
they'll be the favorites to win next year. This year they won by the biggest team margin ever at like 50 some points or something like that. Which is the previous biggest was 45 by Penn State. I think it was like 54 or something. They murdered Iowa in 2nd place.
yes.
And that's not even counting how Penn State had 8 All-Americans.
Mm-hmm.
Bo Bartlett, 6th seed, finished 3rd. Shane Van Ness, 12th seed, finished 3rd. Facundo, loss. Greg, 2nd. One other. Max Dean got into 7th as an All-American as well after losing his 2nd round match. So 8 All-Americans ties Penn State's record.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So,
Dynasty is as much as Kale doesn't want to call it that.
let's turn our attention to something we suck at.
All right, let me grab mine off the wall here.
The NCAA Men's Basketball Championships. We are down to the Sweet 16. Let me see here. We're gonna go bye-bye for a second. See, bye-bye. You still hear us talk, but we just went bye-bye for a second. And we're still bye-bye for a second, but you can hear us talk. Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Let's not do that. Me here. All right, and we're back into the picture. So, let's see here. Let's get rid of that. Okay. Let's slide this over here. So we're going to cover you for a minute. And
Hey.
let's move that there. I can't make that any bigger. That's not in a good position. So let's see here. Maybe that will get any better. No. All right. So we're just not going to show
click
these.
the hand.
No, we're not going to show them. for now. So
Okay.
we're just gonna go away from
I have
here.
my written bracket in front of me, so
Yes, and so do I. So um let's go from left to right here. In the South,
okay.
I had Alabama. You have Alabama. You have Alabama making
Two of
it
Alabama.
to the Sweet 16. You have Alabama.
Yeah.
I had
Yep.
I had Virginia, who lost in the first round.
I had Virginia.
Yeah, yep. I have Creighton, who made it,
I had Creighton.
and I have Arizona, who lost in the first round.
I also had Arizona.
And I have Alabama and Creighton, which you don't.
I had Alabama and Arizona. I
And
wanted to pick Creighton, and I didn't.
and then I have Alabama making it to the Final Four.
I had Arizona in the
Uh-huh.
Final
All
Four.
right. So you can't get into the
Nope.
Final Four there. I can. Okay. Into the
Princeton.
East, I have Purdue and Duke. So both of them are out.
I had Memphis and Duke. Both of them are out.
Both of them are out. And I had Kansas State and Marquette. So I still have Kansas State.
I also had Kansas State and Marquette.
Okay. So I have Duke, Marquette, and Duke. So I'm basically shot on this.
I had Memphis, Kansas State, and I had Kansas State in my Final Four.
Okay, so you can still make a Final Four there.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. In the Midwest, I have Houston and Miami, so I'm still alive there.
I had Houston and Kent State.
Yeah, and I have Iowa State and Texas, so I have one wrong there.
Agreeably had Iowa State and Texas. Little word on Iowa State. How did they have a 9-2 record against top 25 schools and then be losing 22-2 to Pitt?
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm still alive in this bracket because I have Miami and Texas, and I have Miami.
I had Kent State and Texas, and I had Texas.
Okay.
Who should have lost to Penn State, by the way.
Yeah. In the West, I had Kansas and VCU. Both of them are out.
I also have Kansas and VCU.
I have Gonzaga and UCLA. They're both in.
I had TCU and UCLA.
Okay. I have Kansas and UCLA, with UCLA going to the Final Four.
I had Kansas and TCU, so I'm a little shot there.
Yeah. And who did you have going
and
to
I
the Final Four?
TCU in my Final Four. TCU.
So I still have 3 teams alive that can make it to the finals.
I have 2. So,
okay.
But my final is Kansas State, Texas. So if that is the final, I win.
I win.
I said that at work. I'm 10 points behind first, but nobody else has Kansas State or Texas in their Final Four, yet alone their final. So if I get that right, I'm winning the Sheets gift card.
How many people are in this pool?
Like 25.
There's not one person has Texas in the Final Four?
No.
Or in the finals. Obviously, if that's shocking that nobody would have a number 2 seed in the Final Four.
A lot of people, we're all Penn State fans. A lot of them picked Homer picks.
Gaia. So Penn State hammered Texas A&M. That was, as it turned
for 3.
As it turned out, Penn State was probably, out of all 64 teams, the worst matchup for Texas A&M, without a doubt.
Yeah, because
Texas A&M could not defend the 3.
They don't defend the 3.
No, they're almost dead last in the country at defending the 3. And you let Penn State have uncontested 3s, they're probably going to shoot at least 50%, and that's what they did for the game.
Well, and Funk went 8 for 10, making every single 3 from the parking lot.
Yes.
This man does not shoot from the arc. He shoots from the logo.
Now, Texas wasn't a great matchup for Penn State because their closeout defense was was 10 times better than Texas A&M. And in the first half, Penn State couldn't get really open looks for three. They were all contested threes. And they didn't shoot very well in the first half. Now, they woke up in the second half and they actually had a 3-point lead late, and then they went cold the rest of the game. Losing by
started going
5.
You're up 3, and you're still shooting threes. Get the 2s. Get fouls. Come on. This is simple basketball.
Yeah, but
Give Pickett the ball. Give the hot hand the ball. You're super senior. You're All-American. Give him the dang ball. Why is that difficult? Or dread the ball. That's who had the hot hand. Not Funk. Sorry, Funk was cold.
Yep. So
Live or die by the 3.
So I'm still sticking with the vast majority of my pool. Obviously, I'm going to take Alabama to beat San Diego State. I mean, San Diego
San Diego
State.
State.
I'm going to take Creighton to beat Princeton.
I would have to agree.
I'm going to call for the upset. I'm going to take Florida Atlantic to beat Tennessee. I'm still not impressed with Tennessee.
Tennessee scored 58 and 65. Florida Atlantic scored 63 and 78. Now, they played FDU in their second game.
Mm-hmm.
About FDU.
Who, by the way, may have had the worst matchup in NCAA history and found a way to win.
Yeah, they're the shortest team in the entire tournament against 7'6" Zach Edey
and found a way to win. Yeah.
Well, it helps when Purdue, I think, made like 1-3.
Yes. We said on last week's show right here how average Purdue is without Edey. I don't even think they're a tournament team. They're that average.
Yeah, they are actually kind of bad.
Yeah.
I'll take Tennessee. I'll take the defense. In that matchup, I'll take the defense. As much as I don't like Tennessee, I have them losing to Louisiana. I'll take the higher seed in the defense.
Yeah. And then I'm surprised. Maybe you find this surprising. Maybe you don't. Michigan State is a favorite over Kansas State.
I'm not surprised.
I'm going to take Kansas State to win that game.
I'll take Kansas State, but Michigan State's got the better coach.
If Michigan State wins that game, they'll find a way to make the Final Four.
That's just what Tom Izzo does.
That is what they do. On the other side of the bracket, I still have Miami and Texas alive, so I'm going to have them winning, and I'm going to have UCLA beating Gonzaga, and UConn to beat Arkansas.
I'm gonna stick with Texas. Has any of I like Houston. They played really good against Auburn, and I thought Auburn was actually a pretty strong team for a 9 seed. So I'll take Houston and Texas, and I'll take Texas. I'm gonna stick with Arkansas after coming off big, probably could have been the tournament favorite, Kansas.
Yeah,
and they beat them. And I'm gonna take the Zags here. I'm gonna take the Zags.
Okay.
Because it's not the final yet, so they'll play good. I think Gonzaga's showing up at the right time.
Okay.
They played very average all year, and they beat what I thought was a very strong TCU team. 84-81, great game. It was a great game. I thought TCU was a really, really strong 6 seed, and Gonzaga proved me wrong. So I'm gonna stick with the Zags, and then I'm gonna say I'll pick Arkansas to make the Final Four. Wow, I like a little March Madness. Sure. I love it. I love watching Princeton make the Sweet 16. FDU beating Purdue. That was the best thing I've ever seen.
That was great because we're not a Purdue
I made a post on Facebook after that. FDU beats Purdue. Penn State wrestling almost is at their 10th title. And one other thing, sports are fun.
Sports are fun. So let's go over the odds for the games, and we're going to each make a prediction on the game.
All right.
Ready? First game. Michigan State 2-point favorite over Kansas State. Who do you got?
Kansas State, give me the points.
Even though you think Michigan State's going to win the game.
No, I think Kansas State's going to win the game. I just
That's
said
right,
if
yes.
Michigan State wins the game, I wouldn't be surprised because that's just what Izzo does.
Okay. I'm taking Kansas State too. UConn, 3.5-point favorite over Arkansas. So obviously you're going to take Arkansas.
Give me the field goal. Come on. That's
Yes,
easy.
yes. I'm taking the 3.5 too, but I still say UConn wins the game. Tennessee giving 5.5 to Florida Atlantic. I said Florida Atlantic's winning, so obviously I'm taking the 5.5.
I'm gonna take the points just because I think it's gonna be a close game because of that defensive style Tennessee's gonna play.
Okay. UCLA giving 2 to Gonzaga. Obviously you were taking Gonzaga with the 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Gonzaga.
I'm taking UCLA minus the 2. Alabama giving 7.5 to San Diego State.
I'm gonna give the points.
I'm going to give the points
Alabama they're good.
Houston giving a touchdown to Miami.
I'm gonna take Houston.
You're gonna give the touchdown, huh?
Yeah,
Well,
I'll give 6.
There is no 7. I meant touchdown meaning 7.
An extra point.
Yeah, so they're giving 7. There is no way the Houston Texans are beating the Miami Dolphins by a touchdown. I'm calling for the outright upset here. The Miami Dolphins are winning the game.
Wait, you didn't say the Texans versus the Dolphins. By the way, the Texans actually might be a favorite against the Dolphins this year. Preview show in 4 months.
Creighton giving a juicy 9.5 to Princeton.
Give me Princeton there. That's a lot of points for the hot team.
It is. It is. I'll take Creighton. Giving the 9.5. And Texas giving 4 to Xavier.
I'll take Texas all day.
I'll take Texas.
Close out defense.
I'll take Texas to win the game by 5. You know what? We're going to play triple line here. Home team, away team, tie. I'll take the tie. I'll take Texas to win the game. By 4. Texas, that game is going to push Texas to win by 4, and I'll win right there. Anything else,
Texas
I lose.
Outmatches Xavier in every way. Xavier should have lost to Kennesaw State.
They should have, yes.
They did not deserve to win that game. And then they got to play Pitt, who had one decent game by winning 59-41. So it's not even a decent game. Just Iowa State decided to not show up.
One point in that game, both teams missed, like they were 2 for 24 from the field combined or something like that. It was god-awful. It was god-awful.
Yeah, and Pitt Athletics, had the balls when Texas won to do this emoji.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they lost. And they ate their own words.
Yeah, very quickly they did. In fact, I believe their tweet got deleted.
Oh, it did. Pitt should not come after Penn State at all, because we're Pitt's daddy in everything.
Pitt is like, he beat him like a rented mule when it comes to Penn State. Yeah, Pitt is the redheaded stepchild in the Penn State family.
Yeah. There's not many sports that they're better than Penn State at. It's very few. And the one that matters, they suck. The one that they're better than, I know, is men's soccer. Actually.
Okay.
Penn State is a top 10 team, but Pitt is like a top 2 team.
Okay. So be it. All right, that's going to do it for our show tonight. We'd like to thank everybody who tuned in with us. The show went about 20 minutes longer than what I expected, but we got into a few conversations here. Happy purging. We still got, 9.5 hours or so to purge. So get out there, purge, have yourself a lot of fun. listen for the siren at 7 a.m. If you're going to be purging inside a building, like if you're going to be stealing shit and stuff, you got to be out of the building by 7 a.m. Like you can't even have like half of a foot still in the building, or else you're going to get arrested and basically killed. So, happy purging. And the day that Trump is in New York to face his indictment, we will definitely be doing a live stream that night because I am going to have a lot to say. I can promise you that. It will not be a PG rated show either. I can promise you that as well. So until then, have a great week. Have some fun watching college basketball this weekend. See ya.